My 20s were an internal horror show. I was scared of everyone, I was deeply unhappy, anxious, disconnected, and mildly suicidal. What a delicious cocktail. I'm turning 30 this week, Jesus Christ, and only in the last few years do I feel like I've really started to, dare I say, find myself. So I wanted to make the video that I wish I had found when I was 20. A collection of lessons that could have reached through the screen and grabbed that scared kid by his skinny little shoulders and said, I know what you're going through. You're amazing just the way you are, and here is a clear path forward. So I made that video. Here it is. So these are my 20 biggest lessons from my 20s, organized by category to satisfy my OCD. Thank you very much. Starting with anxiety. Number 1. No one cares about your failures like you do. I used to spend so much time and energy trying to be perfect. If I was in conversation with a friend, I felt pressure to be likable, charismatic, hilarious, and I felt like if I didn't live up to some imaginary expectation that I would be cut from my friend group. And this pressure made life hell. Allow yourself to make bad jokes, sit in awkward moments, and let yourself be seen. 2. Anxiety is narcissistic. This was a huge realization for me. When we're anxious, we become hypersensitive to all the people around us. We think that every sideways glance, every laugh is a judgment about us. They know I'm not one of them. We think, more paranoid than a schizophrenic in a house of mirrors. Newsflash, the world does not revolve around you. They're not judging you. They're thinking about themselves. And even if they are looking down on you, that is a reflection on them and not you. So take the pressure off, because no one really cares that much about the things that you're worrying about. 3. You can handle uncomfortable feelings. Anxiety, anger, sadness, shame, guilt. Don't run away from them. Just lean in. Always lean in. If not in the actual moment, set aside some time later to go and feel the emotion. Because I've learned that negative emotion has to be accepted and felt eventually. Trust me, you won't get away with it. I've tried to run away from it from a long time and it doesn't work. You cannot escape it. You must go through it. Accepting and breathing through these emotions doesn't just help you come back to a relaxed equilibrium, it also increases your capacity for discomfort. And that is such a critical muscle to start growing as early as possible. Alright, sex. Let's talk about sex, baby. Number 4. Casual sex is fun, but empty. I've been quite a little slut this past decade, if I'm being honest. It's a lot of fun. You try a mezzy plate of sexual experiences, you get to find out what your preferences are, and meet a bunch of cool people. However, there came a time where I realized that I was using casual sex to try and get human connection, but without any of the commitment. Why? Because I was afraid of being vulnerable, I was afraid of being hurt. So my point is that one-night stands can be fun, but they're not a substitute for real connection. Trust me, there's nothing down there but more cheap thrills, which is great for a time, and everyone should have a little slutty phase where you just go wild, but you gotta understand that eventually you're gonna want something more significant, a little deeper connection, and casual sex is never gonna give you that. 5. Stop masturbating. This is a controversial one. I haven't masturbated in over a year, and here's what I've noticed. I have more energy every day, I'm more present sexually with my partner, and I've developed the skill of delaying gratification in general. I think for men, ejaculation sends this stack of chemicals to our brain that basically tells us we have achieved our sole purpose on this earth, reproduction. It's like God is saying, hey man, don't worry, you did the only thing you need to do, relax, take the night off, do nothing. And that's not a message I want to send to my brain every day. So stop shooting your life force out of you for like 2 weeks and just see how you feel. It's just an experiment. You can always go back to porn later. Relationships. Number 6. I think that relationships are the fastest way to grow as a human being. A really good partner, or a really bad one, will get to the core of you way faster than any self-help book ever could. There's a great quote from Neil Strauss, who wrote The Game and then later The Truth. If you do not address your childhood traumas, your romantic relationships will. And I have found that to be obscenely true. So if you tend to avoid romantic relationships, then I challenge you to jump in. You'll learn so much about yourself and how to connect deeply with another person. And I think in our 20s, we can remove this pressure that every person has to be the one, whatever the fuck that means. I think that a 6-month relationship in which both sides grow and part amicably is an absolute success. 7. Everything comes down to human connection. I used to focus all of my energy on achievements and the grind, and it took me 10 years to realize that there's no level of satisfaction that I would actually be happy with. Subscribe. No, I'm joking. At the end of the day, real life is going to be found in those shared moments between strangers, friends, family, and loved ones. Laughing so hard you cry and crying so hard that you laugh. The rest is bullshit. Self. Strap in, because there's a lot here. 8. Everything is your fault. I'm not saying that other people don't wrong you or that things out of your control happen to you. I'm just saying that the most effective position to take in almost any situation is to assume the maximum amount of responsibility. For example, if someone continually mistreats you, that's not your fault, but it is completely your responsibility to choose to take them out of your life. Letting yourself take on the mentality of victim is very, very rarely the best course of action. 9. Say no. Stop people-pleasing. Put yourself first. If you don't have the energy to meet up with a friend, say no. You have to respect your own energy levels. The benefit of this is that you can take your time to recharge, and then when you do say yes and you do hang out, you can be fully present with this other person without getting resentful that they're taking up your time, because you choose how to spend your time. If you want a full rundown on how to stop people-pleasing, I made a video. I think it's good. I'm going to link it in that little card thing up the top. 10. Self-love beats self-loathing every time. I've said this before, but self-loathing is a terrible fuel source. It burns you out, makes you feel depressed, and it just fills your body and your mind with tension. And that's a terrible place to create from. If you can switch that fuel source to self-love, I promise you, you will get further, you'll get there faster, and you'll enjoy the journey way more. Self-compassion is the way. 11. How you do anything is how you do everything. The way you conduct yourself in a really small situation usually mirrors how you're going to act in the big situations. So, for example, if you struggle to brush your teeth consistently for 2 minutes every night, you're going to struggle in your career to consistently put work out, to create whatever it is for you. So remember that the way you live your life is an art form in itself, and if you can get the small things right, the big things will fall into place. 12. For fuck's sake, go to therapy. I wish I went to therapy 6, 7, 8 years earlier. I used to think it was only for people that were really struggling and having a horrible time. It's not true. Therapy is basically like a gym, but for your soul. I think I avoided it for a long time out of fear, but it is so helpful to have someone objective on the outside who's professionally trained to question the stories that you've been telling yourself, because some of them are so ingrained and so calcified that you don't even think there's another option. So if you can afford it, it is the ultimate return on investment. Go to therapy. 13. You get to choose your identity. No part of you is fixed. Your relationship with yourself and other people can be actively changed. It just takes constant awareness and consistent practice. So envision who you want to be, how you want to talk to yourself, and just take a tiny step toward that vision every day. 14. Do nothing. This is one of the most important habits I've cultivated. Just see if you can sit alone, 5 minutes, no phone, no music, and just do nothing. You'll be amazed at what you learn about yourself and what emotions, stories, memories just rise to the surface, which leads me to 15. Acknowledge your feelings. For a long time, I pretended I felt nothing. Don't pretend you feel nothing. I'm looking at you, man. Trust me, it'll just come out somewhere else and it'll be much worse. If you keep just pushing things down like that, it's just gonna pop out as something more sinister like resentment or hyper-aggression. So breathe your feelings in and journal them out. 16. Move slow to go fast. This is something one of my wonderful acting mentors, Michael Sheesby, taught me, and I've never forgotten it. Rushing is slowing you down. I used to try to do 10 things at once, and I was tense, get it done. And you know what? Rushing slows you down. You're much more efficient and happy when you do one thing at a time with full focus. But don't take my word for it. Here's a quote from motherfucking Aragon. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got was from a horse master. He told me to go slow to go fast. I think that applies to everything in life. We live as though there aren't enough hours in the day, but if we do each thing calmly and carefully, we will get it done quicker and with much less stress. Viggo Mortensen, aka the GOAT. 17. Diet. This is a quick one. Screw all the fads. I've tried the keto, paleo, super caveman, carnivore, 3-2-1, juicy juice, no calorie cleanse diet. None of it lasts. Just be reasonable. You know what it is. Less processed foods, nice healthy greens, get rid of the sodas and the lollies, and let yourself cheat every now and then. Eat less calories than you need. Simple formula, your body weight in pounds times 15. I'm 187 pounds. So that is 2,805 calories. So all I have to do is eat less calories than that every day, and I'll maintain or lose a little bit of weight. It's so much better to find a pretty easy, healthy diet that you can maintain consistently than to get on one of these uber strict fad diets and jump off the wagon every other week. 18. Exercise. Gym 3 times a week, 30 to 60 minute sessions. It'll make you hotter, happier, and less heady. Simple. Success. 19. Don't be stupid with money. I ended up 10k in debt in my 20s, and it wasn't from doing anything crazy. I just said yes to everything. All the eating out, the alcohol, clothes, buying silly things from Amazon. Like, I don't need that air purifier. Why do I have an air purifier? These should be treats, not habits. Open the notes on your phone and record everything you spend money on for a week. It's crazy. It's terrifying. I was spending like $250 a week on food. Now check that total number at the end of the week. Is it more than your income? Then you need to cut some things out. Simple. 20. Commit to a path. I agonized for years trying to choose the perfect career, the perfect passion. But I've learned now that the fastest way to find your passion is to just look at your interests, things that make you curious, choose one, and just commit to it 100%. If you just choose any of them and start taking action, the path starts to reveal itself. Now, that might not be the thing that you want to do, but if you're here and you want to get here, it's so much better to go take action and then be like, oh, this is it. Take action. Oh, that's not it. Take action and end up there, than to just be here mulling around being like, oh, where's the path? Where's the path? Just take action. Just take action. It's hard, it's difficult, but it's so rewarding and you will find the path over time. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped. Would love for you to leave a comment on things that helped you get through your 20s or things you're struggling with right now. And I'll see you next time. Bye. What is that? Bye. Bye. Also weird. Yeah, everything I do is weird. Bye.